And the last thing I want to talk about is enthusiasm. I tell folks all the time, if you aren't excited about something, then why should anybody else be? And a lot of times, if you're excited about something, then folks will feed off of that excitement and they're going to want to be a part of whatever it is that you're doing there. So when someone walks by your table and they say to you, "Hey, what's going on here? What are you guys doing?" They've already taken that first step to engaging with you, and you don't want to throw that away by responding with something that's uninspired, like, "Oh, just hanging out, playing some Battletech, having a good old time." Because you have to remember, even though the game is experiencing a renaissance right now and we're making a lot of headway towards having a new heyday for Battletech, that doesn't necessarily mean that everyone who walks by your table is going to know what it is or even have heard of it. So you have to come charging out of the gate like gangbusters right off the bat, like horses in the Kentucky Derby, man. You want to hit the ground running. This is giant stompy robots on the battlefields of the far-flung dystopian future, man, and everyone's just duking it out for fortune and glory to get a piece of the action. We got enough room for you, man. All you have to do is just grab a set of dice. I can teach anybody in 5 minutes. You're already just charging out of the gate right there because your passion, your enthusiasm, and your love for what you're doing is going to show. And that's way more attractive than the other scenario, because the other scenario just sounds like something that people are doing amongst themselves and they're hanging out with each other. It doesn't sound inclusive. But when you make it sound exciting, that says to that person that you would be just as excited to share it with them. And a lot of folks don't know how to get started into this sort of thing at first, so if you're enthusiastic and you're excited, it's going to go a long way to breaking the ice with that new player and making them feel what I like to call the 3 W's, which is wanted, welcome, and willing. And when you give a new player the 3 W's, even if they don't pick everything up right off the bat their first go, that's fine. Because if you make them feel wanted and welcome, then they're going to be willing to come back and learn all those little bits and pieces of minutia that they missed the first time around so that they can get the hang of it better and have as good of a time as everyone else is having at the table that already knows what they're doing. The other thing I like to tell folks about enthusiasm is it doesn't just extend to the tabletop in the store on the day that you're playing. See, a lot of these friendly local game shops will have a Facebook page or a Facebook group where they post up things like information about events they're holding or products they have in and things like that, so all their customers know what's going on inside the store at any given point in time, and they can hopefully draw in some more business on that. But this is your opportunity to get a lot more eyeballs on what you're doing from people who weren't there when you were originally doing it. So whip out your smartphone, take as many pictures as you can possibly think of to take in the moment, and I understand that it's kind of hard when you're playing and you're thinking and you're strategizing to remember to take a whole bunch of pictures, but even if you just have a small handful, maybe 6 to 8 pictures, that's great. That's a perfect starting point, because then you can take those pictures and post them on this Facebook page or in this Facebook group, and then you can start writing the battle report. But not just a play-by-play type of battle report. You want to write it as if it were an actual series of events that really happened with a cast of characters who actually exist. One of my favorite examples of this is a fanzine from the late 80s and early 90s that not everybody knows about, believe it or not, called Battletechnology. And they had stories and articles and features and things like that, and everything cover to cover was purported as real, like it was a real-life, in-universe magazine that the average mech warrior or technician or strategist would want to have on hand so they could thumb through it when they had some downtime. The magazine was cool because it gave the reader the perspective of actually being a part of the universe they were reading about and not just an outside observer. And that's the exact kind of feeling that you want to give not only the players who were there playing with you that day, because if they were there with you, they're undoubtedly a part of that Facebook page or Facebook group for the game store, but you want to give all the people who weren't there that day something to look at and think, "Oh man, this sounds really cool. I want to be a part of that. When does this guy run again? He runs on Thursday nights? Oh, okay. I'll head on down there Thursday night and see if I can't check it out," and you're instantly getting more people looking at what you were doing than you would have if you had just played in the store and left it at that. And the last thing you want to do is see if you can get permission from that store to post up some kind of flyer in there. Like some game stores will have a cork board or a community board where everybody posts the kind of games they're running or the games they're looking for, and you can use the photos you took to make these flyers look a lot more attractive right off the bat, and then you're telling everybody that happens to walk by and see it what you're doing, when, and at what time. And those flyers are going to give you a lot more reach, and that's what you're looking for. Anyway, I hope you find these tips helpful, and I hope they help you grow the hobby in your area, help you get some more games in, make some more friends, and have a good time. Remember, as always, folks, if you enjoyed the content of the videos, please click that like button and leave a comment to be a part of the conversation. We'll have more content coming for you here soon, so it's been a pleasure as always. I'm Tuck Davian, and I'll see you out on the space lanes.